Alright, so in this one, we're going to be going over the top 10 LF units list of 2021 that 5-9 did, right? They just put one out yesterday, and I was, shown it a couple times by a few different people, and they wanted to see me react about it, and I went over it, just the list itself. I didn't really watch the whole video, because I want to do that here for the actual video itself, there's some takes that I think are, controversial, so I want to go over them, right? Just to show you guys, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are probably going to hate this video because I'm not going to speak highly on some of these opinions because mine are different, just how it's going to be. One, here is my ranking, or wherever it's going to be, over here, here is where I am right now in PvP, here is my past rankings, my titles, so you can know at least I'm a good player at the game, or at least half decent to where I hit all these ranks consistently in a high-ranking PvP experience, so I have somewhat of a say in this. And then right here, probably all my stars of my LFs showing I have these LFs, so I am warranted to have a, discussion about them, right? And then the last thing, my hair is fucking dead wet because, well, I just got out of the shower, so yeah, I'm sick, I had a shower, get the nose unstuffed, you know how it be. So, let's get into this. I'm just going to pause when I have something to say, and that's how it's going to be. This is going to be a long video, so get some popcorn, because, again, it's going to be a long one. This video itself is 24 minutes, and I'm going to react to the whole thing.
What is up, 5-9 gamers?
Let's
Welcome
watch
back
this,
to
right?
Video on, we are going to discuss the top 10 LF units released in 2021.
Top 10 of 2021. Is it? I assume it's
And
the
to do
entirety
that,
of 2021.
I am joined by the one and only free-to-play legend, The Truth. How you doing, man?
Hello, yes.
Wait, what? Okay. This is interesting, for sure. One thing I know about 5-9, well, they're pretty infamous in the, Legends Dokkan community, right? That they have players that are, consistently playing Legends. So I do find it interesting they introduced a Dokkan person, but, again, let's just see what he thinks, right? A Dokkan player, and I think Palm is someone that is more known for Tournament of Power, or at least knows more about Tournament of Power than a lot of people, right? So, it's a PvP list with a Tournament of Power connoisseur, I guess you could call it, and then a Dokkan player who side plays Legends, I believe. I believe he actually said that on stream, Truth, that he plays Legends on the side, so. Alright, we couldn't get someone else that's hit God rank or something like ZVG, Azdeek, Swith, I guess not. Alright, interesting already. Let's get into this though.
A lot of free-to-play crystals.
Just a quick question.
Up is what for these characters. I feel like for a PvP game like this, like, is he really?
Yeah, we have 13 LFs, so we are not placing
Okay.
3 of them.
13
And
LFs.
I was
3
pretty
LFs
clear
are not
on
being
which ones
placed.
I'm not gonna place, but like the order of the last 5, I was just like, all right, roll the dice. Okay. Oh, this is a 6. Okay.
The last 5? Okay, again, I've seen just a little bit of this list of both of theirs, and it's interesting.
So, Truth, who do you have as your number 10?
My number 10 I have is Kid Buu, actually.
So, this list is about the entirety of 2021, right? When I went over the units and I was using them, all these LFs that I used recently, LF Rose, 8 Gogeta, Cell, all that, I was looking at them by the end of 2021. Obviously, I think 8 Vegeta is the worst because of how red is in the meta, how it's a dead color, and no reds are strong enough to contest all these blue units, right? So that's why I would say 8 Vegeta is the worst LF of 2021. Now, this list, again, their list is about the entirety of 2021. So it's when the unit released to where they are now. I just use Kid Buu, personally. You guys probably see the video somewhere. You guys probably saw it, if nothing else. If you didn't, please go check it out. I just used him. And Kid Buu on release, to rate him number 10, doesn't mean they call him dead on arrival, because again, there's 13 LFs that came out in 2021, so there's 3 who aren't on this list who are worse. I assume maybe they're going to say Super Saiyan 4 Goku's not on this list. I don't know. Again, I looked at it, I glanced it, then here we are doing it, because I didn't want to, know the entire thing beforehand. But Kid Buu, to say number 10, I think is a little cruel, because Kid Buu on release was God. Like, a 3-star Kid Buu could 1v3 high-star units. Like, that was kind of how Kid Buu just was. He was just that guy. With how long he lasted as a very good unit, maybe, yes, he was overrated for a little bit of time. I agree with that. But I would definitely say he is at least a top 7 LF of this year, maybe even higher. Kid Buu definitely is a unit that, even at 6 stars where I used him, again, just a few days ago, he was decimating. He was shitting on a green unit. He shit on Gogeta 4. Like, Kid Buu, who is, what is it, 10 months old at this point? Like, Kid Buu definitely is like a top 7, I would say, but I want to hear his reasoning.
I feel like Kid Buu is just one of the really things I think that like really matters is characters that have something that could like cancel buffs and shit like that, right? So I feel like Kid
Buu has that.
Is just a huge help. Like I know Ultra Gogeta's gonna one-shot him, one strike and Kid Buu's dead. But I mean, if you're
Kid Buu with a Zenkai buff and normal Z abilities for his team, lived the blue card from Ultra Gogeta, so. Doesn't die 1 card, but alright, he has 35% cut, but
really
alright!
You know, just not get hit with Kid Buu, right? Like, it's how you use them. And then, like, that main killing buffs, I love that.
True, especially
so
in the hybrids meta, that was pretty nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so my number 10 is actually Rose.
What?
And
what?
it was
Wait, why is he 10? He complimented him. I guess because he dies quick? Rose has less cut than Kid Buu. What? Okay. Anyways, Palm's number 10 is Rose. Rose, okay, so I'm just assuming at this point, again, 13 LFs. I'm assuming Super Saiyan 4 Goku just isn't on this list, and, you know, it is what it is at that point. I disagree with that. I think he should be, like, number 10, 9, 8, whatever the fuck, but I'm assuming he's just not on this list because people call him trash without even touching him. It's just how it is. Rose is number 10. I do think it is close between Rose and Ape. I literally said this, but on release, I don't fully disagree with this. I would say this is more accurate. Kid Buu definitely on release was a lot scarier. Rose, while he did have value on release, 8 Vegeta had a lot more. He allowed sustainability. You know, I'm assuming 8 Vegeta's like number 9, 8 or something close to this guy. So I'm assuming they're gonna, you know, kind of gas him a little bit where he had more value. And I do think Future was already in a good spot when Rose came out. So he didn't really feel required. So I guess that's why you could put number 10. I would just say this is pretty. I would say this is pretty nice to say for Rose, right? Maybe you can move him up a little down, whatever the fuck it is, but I would say this is an okay spot for Rose,
Very close
for sure.
for me to not place him, and I think the only reason he got placed is because of the resurgence of Endurance Future and his just rising value in you know, his inherent endurance nullification.
Okay, well, now I kind of take back my comment. If he's valuing where we are now in the meta, because the rising of Endurance, the rising of Future, that is where we are right now in PvP, where we were at least 2 weeks ago, before New Year's, whatever the hell, before Ultra Gogeta. If he's valuing that, then I would also say Super Saiyan 4 Goku should be valued higher, because, well, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is yellow, where there was no red in this resurgence. He has 2 big foes of Majub and Puddle Gohan, to where, yes, they are pretty, well, Future Gohan's more fragile than anything, but Future Gohan's pretty fragile, but I mean, Rose's not going to kill Future Gohan in one combo or something, right? But okay, I can still see it. It just depends how much he's valuing this meta. Because this meta, I would say Rose's probably like 8 or 7. But every other, he doesn't have the most insane value. Right now is where his value really has skyrocketed, right?
He's kind of squishy. He doesn't do a lot of damage. He has
he has like only 90%.
So it gives you a free rising, and he has kind of you know, annoying green card, which is also a long animation.
Dragon Ball
so
Destruction?
Also just kind of a double-edged sword. The
is.
one good thing about him is like the 20% chance to destroy a Dragon Ball on strike, which I don't know. It never
I think it's
seems to
15.
rock for me though.
yeah,
I think it's 15. And the bleed. He didn't mention the bleed, which is actually a big attribute to his damage because he doesn't have crazy damage inflicted.
Viable at all is endurance, right? Like anytime I've fought
which would be now.
It just feels like nothing.
So, I'm a little. This is valuing the entirety of 2021, but they keep mentioning now. I wonder what's more valued here. Because obviously, if you're, you know, playing the game, you're going to think of more recent things that have happened in recency just because that's how your memory works, right? But there was a time where Rose was just not needed. I don't even know if Rose was core when he actually came out. So, I want to know what they value more. It seems like they value right now more, which again, I just said, if they value right now more, then Rose is better than number 10. Just that simple. And Super Saiyan 4 Goku is better than Kid Buu, but this is a different person's list. So
I worry about is him just rushing. That's
Yeah, pretty much. And then he can die, because like mine is 14 stars, and I mean, granted, I might not have the best equips for him, but nah. Doesn't feel that strong for me. So who's your 9?
Okay.
Number 9 I have is Merc Zamasu. The reason I put him above Kid Buu is
let me hear
I feel like his green is just so crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get the one lock, you nullify what is it?
Type.
Unfavorable element, like he goes neutral. Like that green.
That's I like his value too there. Yeah.
Zamasu is one of the. He's always got a green, right? He's always PV fishing with a green.
It's because future Gohan supplies the greens
like
for
Kid Buu,
Zamasu because he draws 2 greens. Yes.
Now,
Oh yeah.
I feel like a tap.
Well, whoa, okay, a little bit of issues here. All right, well, okay. Firstly, Zamasu. Again, I'm gonna keep specifying this. This is all of 2021. This is not right now. This is not, just 1 month on the release. No, all 2021. In all 2021, Zamasu is probably the most consistent unit in how you would rate him. I would say, obviously, he's fallen off now because Red being dead as hell, but throughout the entire time he's been out since Anniversary, I would say he's probably been a, at peak, number 3 unit, at low end, number 6, 7. Zamasu, while, again, right now isn't the most ideal, and really isn't good for where we are, I don't think he's that fragile. Again, exclude right now, because this is literally, a month of a whole year, right? Zamasu, especially at higher stars, is beefy as hell. Like, he's building up cut, similar to Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Thing is, Zamasu can also heal exponentially. You just do a full hand, that you do 5 cards in one combo because you're doing tech and all that. You're healing back over, like, 1,000,000 HP, kind of like Goku Vegeta kind of do. It's just obviously Goku Vegeta are more superior in that aspect, but Zamasu can be very beefy. The green card supply that he mentioned is going to come from Future Gohan because he's drawing green cards twice, I believe. I think it actually might be 3 times, but I think it's at least twice where he's drawing green cards, so you save that for either Zamasu, use it on Future Gohan, whoever the hell you want to use it on. Then you have that supplementation of green cards for him. And let's just keep listening now.
Ultra Gogeta does about 25% of Zamasu's health.
If he gets crit, he taps him to death probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I put Kid Buu on the 9th spot for me.
So far, 8 Vegeta, and again, this is the entirety, is better than Zamasu, Kid Buu, and Rose. Right? Wait, who was his number 10? Truth? Yeah, Kid Buu. Yeah. Okay, so Zamasu, Kid Buu, and Rose. Kid Buu and Zamasu, I disagree. Rose, I can see the argument for 8 Vegeta being better than him in the entirety of 2021. But Kid Buu, hell no. Kid Buu was dominant for months.
It's like, in my opinion, he's like the best green card,
I don't know.
or at least one of the best green cards in the game. With his like, I think he restores manage like 5 times almost fully, so 70% or something. So you can annoy people a lot with that.
I don't understand this a little bit. Like, besides just referring to recency of, the end of 2021 where they're mentioning how units die so quickly, you would think the units that are lower, they would mention their negatives, but they haven't mentioned really negatives. They've mentioned, they're squishy, but yes, the unit that is meant for damage is going to be squishy if they're not high stars, right? Zamasu, which is honestly false, that he's squishy is, again, it's false, right? They're not really mentioning negatives. I'd like to hear the negatives to why they feel like these units are so low compared to maybe where people disagree with that.
And then what I really love is you pop the green, you start a combo, and then every 4 counts you regain 40 ki, or every 3 counts you regain that ki, and that's
you can also debuff
with the card draw speed. You just combo forever.
Yeah, because the green gives card draw as well, right?
If you draw greens, he only draws 1 green, right? If Kid Buu draws greens just naturally, then you're on par. But like,
I made region. I needed to have 1 region unit in here at least.
It's number 9.
I feel like
definitely better than that.
To kill buffs
in totality.
Well,
a lot of units have uncancelable buffs, so yes, it is important for a lot of units. With their references, at least what they're doing here, again referencing more recent events. sort of hope Post-Gauge will not get his buffs canceled by Kid Buu. You know, he'll get his cut canceled, sure, but, like, his actual, you know, Gauge buffs, he will not get canceled. Ultra Gogeta has all uncancelable buffs, basically, besides, I think, his green card buff. And, you know, that doesn't really do much. Maybe Super Vegito, but Super Vegito gets cards thrown at him, and he's getting buffs for his allies, so it's like, okay, that doesn't really matter. A lot of more recent units don't really care about units canceling their buffs because they're having uncancelable buffs. That's why that exists on Goku Vegeta. Super Gogeta, Super Vegito maybe doesn't have that, but he is drawing cards, getting everything back, and then he's getting cards done to him. Okay, well now he's just thriving, right?
It gets crazy, right, with a lot of these characters.
Yeah, agreed. And I actually have to say, I didn't even place Corrupted Zamasu. And it was, for me, it was really hard between him and Rose because, I mean, they're on the same teams, mainly, like Future and Powerful Opponent.
Wait, what?
Obviously.
Corrupted Zamasu's not on this list? Bro, Strike Regen? Was that not a team? What? What? Wait. Oh, there's no way 8 Vegeta's on this list while Corrupted Zamasu's not. No shot. Okay.
There's Regen, but, you know, Rose has the nullification of Endurance completely, like always, and
yes,
for Zamasu it's only
Corrupted Zamasu gets the same thing after me. Yes.
And I feel like that.
But that's not hard to do.
Like Rose ahead of Zamasu, because yeah, Zamasu heals himself, but again, 2-carded.
Rose gets 2-carded. Corrupted Zamasu does not get 2-carded. Strike Regen decimated. DKP, CMZ, Fat Boo. Hello? He just said he means Regen. What? I'm so confused! Dude, Corrupted Zamasu has to be the most consistent LF of 2021 in rating. Like, in placements. He's not on the list. And you main Regen. What the hell? Corrupted Zamasu is better than Kid Buu in consistency-wise. Maybe not right now, but consistency.
For me, I just like sort of like when I'm fighting, Zamasu is very scary to me. Like, he could do so much, right? He can main rush and ignore endurance. He's got the green. He does so
he's number
much
9
damage once he starts.
or 10, whatever you put him.
Whereas I see Rose, and he feels like a fish to me. It's just the rush where he cancels endurance is the only concern I ever have with Rose.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, I mean, it also lost value again now with the meta where there's like Super Saiyans and, you know, like teams that don't really have endurance.
Again,
but when it was just.
This is a list of all of 2021. They only mention the end of 2021. They're mentioning Ultra Gogeta, who is a part of 2022 at this point, because he came out a few days before 2022. Wait, let me go back. Maybe I'm mistaken this. Hold on. I was at 6 minutes.
If you could subscribe to the channel if you're new and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And with that said, today we are going to discuss the top 10 LF units released in 2021.
So yeah, that'd be the entirety of 2021. Why would it be?
I am joined because of the current meta
less?
where there's just so many blue units, but also just, you know, he was really good on release. But I feel like he fell off pretty quickly. I didn't see him that much.
Yes.
Even on release, but especially after release, he was like, you know, every now and then you see him in a match. He also has that AoE green card. He gets a blue card on green, and then one thing that was really clutch was the sub count manipulation on the blue card, right? So it's like 5 sub counts less, so that, you know, you can throw your opponent off. He rising rushes, and you actually have the endurance unit back, and just laugh him in the face.
I feel like he works pretty well with.
One thing about 8 Vegeta, I'm gonna say he should be probably 9th or 10th. Again, I think he's disputable between Rose as being 9th or 10th there. I would say other units can even be in Rose's spots where Rose maybe doesn't even make the list or barely makes the list, whatever at that point, right? 8 Vegeta, I wouldn't rate him at high stars because he's been on a bait banner. He's been on a banner where you are limited to summons, the New Year's banner, and his own banner. So he hasn't really come back on a real banner to summon him. So I would rate him at a lower star threshold, which, in my opinion, would make him lower than Rose, who has been out for about, 9 or 10 months at this point, and you would have him higher stars. So that's kind of why I would rate Vegeta lower.
Goku and Vegeta, too. Like, the way he's able to sort of, like, generate that blue with his green, and then what is he? He get, what is it, 5?
Yeah, but you would.
Back when he strikes or something like
wait. To help Goku and Vegeta, you would use the green with Goku and Vegeta because they draw blue on the green anyways. Okay? I mean, it's literally the same exact thing. Honestly, Goku Vegeta's is better because it's stop time event. Yes, an AoE is great, but If you know how to play, you just backdash it,
Think
right?
Strike and Blast.
Yeah, I think Grade 8 Vegeta is really good. And of course, the annoying green card is always super powerful. I actually really like that Grade 8 Vegeta. He's on my list as well.
Yeah, the one thing that he speaks a little bit against him is also his low HP recovery on endurance, just 20%.
He has very low
So if you're
stats
just
as well.
Starting a combo, you can still kill him, but he also has a heal on main, which, for example, Future Gohan comes back with 40%, but he doesn't heal unless you have like a healer on your team outside of him.
Yeah, Future Gohan's is better because he's coming back with it. Me having to pop my main ability means I'm not getting comboed already. Typically, when you get your endurance popped, it would be a circumstance where your opponent makes a mistake and they kind of rush your endurance unit, and they're like, oh, woe is me, I rushed the wrong unit. Okay, well, here I am. Or they're going to combo you into popping your endurance, and then they're going to keep comboing you. So he has that heal on main, yes, but he's needing you to not get comboed to pop that, which is a negative to him, not positive, while Future Gohan has that 40% just unique after endurance pop. It's better than 8 Vegetas, where you have to pop it, because again, you're most likely getting comboed when your endurance gets popped the first time, right?
Yours, number 8.
For me, I have full power Frieza right here. I feel like there's also a huge jump for me from like 9 and 10. I don't see very much and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't fully disagree with this. I would say Full Power Frieza kind of makes sense, because Full Power Frieza, if you think about when he came out, he was a good color, right? You know, Zamasu was running around, but you did have Revival Gohan, who came out prior to him, and then Full Power Frieza dropped right after Anniversary. I think he was a good color. It's just that the teams he was on weren't great, and the leader slot update actually didn't exist until about Cell time, which is a couple months later. So yes, I do agree with this. I think obviously he's more relevant now, but in all of 2021, I think he was a lot more underwhelming because his teams held him back. Now, with the leader slot update, his teams don't hold him back because, well, he has every team, right? So I actually agree-ish. I would say, you know, a little bit higher would be nicer, but I could see the spot of 8th, right? I can see it and be okay with it.
The other two. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the current meta, and that mono purple is still like the most common theme. I feel like even with Ultra Gogeta, it's like just mono purple.
They just keep mentioning only right now. I don't.
But I like Frieza,
of 2021. 2021 is not just December. Unfortunately, it's not just December. We be in Christmas all year then. We're not only in Christmas.
Oh no, it's just when he enters. Okay, it's Cell I'm thinking of. He has to specifically cover change, right? To destroy a Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Destruction. That's good. Yeah.
Then of course you got the AoE Blue, and then the Endurance Nullification, of course. So important with Trunks and Future Gohan in every other match.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well.
For me,
well,
I
don't think they're every other match. I think they're common. I don't think they're as common as Super Saiyans and Fusions and all that. At least right now.
Yeah, so number 7, I'm going to go next, is, for me, is Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. Flawless defenses, not. That's the one thing they were announcing him with, like, yes, he has flawless defense.
Wait, really? Evolution Blue? Was he ever bad? I think he's as consistent, if not more consistent, than Zamasu. When Grade 8 Vegeta dropped, did he scare Evolution Blue? Hell no. Because that blue card goes neutral anyways, right? He nullified Endurance on his ultimate as well, so he literally had no fear of 8 Vegeta because he had such low stats, and, I mean, 8 Vegeta probably got one ulted by Evolution Blue, right? 7th. As an overall unit, I would... You know, I'm not making my own list from this video. I'm just spitting where I think I put them just, you know, basing off of everything of 2021. Again, I'm not trying to make my own list. I'm just getting my own take. I would probably say he's 5th, 4th in value, because his value from release to now hasn't gone down, maybe a little bit, because of how fast-paced the meta is right now at the end of the year, December, where the year ended. I would say, besides that, did he not have value? Even when FSK was still goated with Rival Gohan, Grand Puddle Gohan, Rival Gohan, and FSK, you used Evolution Blue. Because you kill Rival Gohan, you get that neutral for 30 counts. You're killing FSK in 2 cards. Just how that worked. I did it myself. I would say now he loses value, but in the overall year, no. Number 5th, 4th, maybe even 3rd his value has been exponential since release. I don't think he's ever lost value until December, and that's not because of himself. More in reality, it's because of how quick the new units are. It's just unfortunate for him, but he's not even that bad right now. He's just worse than he was, I guess, on release, which obviously happens with age, right?
No, he doesn't. But he can combo forever with his 20 key restoration when key goes below 35 after using a card. He needs to be built up a little bit to do full damage, but then, you know, like the blue card when he goes type neutral is really nice. And when he pops a revive, he goes type neutral for even 30 counts, I think. And he also pops 2 Dragon Balls of your opponent. Has a pretty cool ult, and his green card heals him, which is super helpful. And it draws another card. So
mention his name, nullifying special cover change.
That's what puts him slightly, for me, slightly above 8 Vegeta.
Okay.
Even though he doesn't have endurance.
Nullifying endurance and special cover change.
One thing I've
he doesn't need endurance.
From Vegeta too is that first, so it's like he draws a blue when he cover changes.
On cover, first cover, yeah. You
like
combo that.
Very helpful.
Yeah,
and it seals what?
Blast?
Blast darts? It's very good.
Yeah,
very
it doesn't even matter who you're cover changing against as long as you just hit the right cover change. I think it's once, but still, you know, you can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does a lot of damage with that blue. So for me, I have this is where I have great.
Okay, that's all.
Right here.
Okay.
Again, just very good green card. And
you know what?
His ult does a lot of damage. One thing I found about this Vegeta too, I haven't
let's wait a second.
Against Ultra Vegeta, but often Great Vegeta can still kill blue units on a rush.
Remember, Truth is someone that wills out, and he probably has a 14-star Great Vegeta, which, again, if you're going to scale units to a degree, you know, maybe you want to scale a lot of the older units at higher stars, like 14 stars, but Great Vegeta should not be on that scale. If you're thinking of a normal player, if you're thinking of even a whale at that point, like I'm someone that spends a lot of money on this game, I have a 7-star of 8 Vegeta. I did not 14-star him because you don't 14-star the LF on release. Not every person does that. Most players in the world just don't do that. So I would say rate him at lower stars, but if you want to rate him at 14, okay. 7, okay. I think that's okay for him. Yeah, I mean, he was very good on his release. I don't deny that. It's just that how quick he fell off, but again, that's kind of thinking in a way of only 1 month, which is silly to think. So I guess, yes, 7th would be fine, but by the end of the year, I do think he is the worst of the 2021 LFs, right? But 7th is fine if you're rating at 14, which they are, but you gotta factor in age when you're rating a unit. You can't just think everyone's all 14 stars, because I'm not gonna have my, you know, 3-month-old LF Cell 14 stars. I'm not. Like, I have him 8, and that's, like, fucking high, right? Like, most people have him, like, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. You don't have him 14. 14 is a big difference from 6, which a lot of people probably have 8 Vegeta at, if they even have him.
Because he gets that extra 40% against blue. I feel like that does matter. Like, you could kind of just
it does
like
matter
rush
when he's high stars.
Vegeta, and he'll kill type disadvantage more often than other like units in the game that would rush type disadvantage, right?
That's fair. The funny thing is, on my list, I also wrote down, which I forgot to say, is that I didn't really feel the extra damage against blue. I guess for rush, it makes more of a difference too, because you want to, you know, rush to kill, obviously. But I feel like in a combo, I'm not sure I saw it, but my
he needs to swap 3 times.
Only 6 stars.
Yeah, because he needs high stars. Because Truth has a 14-star 8.
Because I always feel very confident rushing blue units with Gritty. Like, I remember when I was...
Not realistic.
There was a season I was running Saiyans. I was running Yellow Vegeta, Gritty Vegeta, and then Super Saiyan 3
Goku.
And, like, you know, fighting a lot of...
That was a very good team. That was Vegeta's team. Frieza Force and that team were his peak team for damage was Frieza Force. His best team for his capabilities of sustainability was Saiyans, and I agree. On release, he was very good.
I guess, as well.
And the damage against Goku. Yeah.
Fair enough. So who's your number 6?
Number 6, I actually have Evolution Blue. Again, a lot of the same
stuff
we talked about, right?
Again, I would say number 5 or 4. So, okay, I actually don't have to listen to this because I already agree with this, so that's fine.
Like, for me, number 6 is actually Full Power Frieza, and that's mainly because of, you know, the meta we had before this one, where it was still like Mono Purple or Endurance Future. And I think we talked about him sufficiently already, but yeah, pretty much
Okay.
That's where he surged in value for me again.
Again, I would say both of them were kind of in the same realm.
Also able to be
I think Full Power Freeze was obviously lower than Evolution Blue, but
crazy and run him with cooler.
Okay, 7-6. I would give it a pass. 7-6, maybe even 8 at that point.
Units for me
I give it a pass.
Pretty hard to place. Now I'm curious for your number 5 though.
Number 5, I have Yellow Future Gohan at
number 5. Both of them at number 5 at Future Gohan. Okay. I want to listen to this, actually.
He's
I agree.
You see him in every single match. He's got the cover change, which is annoying.
And he's better now because Reds don't exist.
But the thing about, like, the one negative about Yellow Future Gohan, because at this point, top 5,
damage.
Like, kind of like what pushes, like, this guy towards the back. He is very squishy, I feel like. Like, if you get him caught against the Vegeta from the Goku and Vegeta will 2-card this Gohan, right? Like,
yeah, well, okay, to be fair, Goku Vegeta from Vegeta, 2 cards most of the yellows, like Majub, who is tankier, and you build him defensively, he's going to get 2 carded, so, well, I agree with that. I'll keep listening, then I'll go over my
I think
take.
I've had instances where actually my Gohan got one shot with a blue card.
Yes.
From Vegeta.
His
I mean, obviously it's Goku
one
and Vegeta,
negative.
but still, this shouldn't happen.
Also, again, this is a full 2021 list, not December. They're only referencing December. All these other months, Future Gohan had exponential value. But again, I'll touch on this after they go over their explanation.
When it happens, you know. But I agree also, the cover change, in my opinion, is probably one of the best because even if, you know, your opponent uses a strike, you're still destroying 2 cards. And also, if you're using the main and then you hit them with a blue card...
it's... Okay, the disruption is good to, like, fuck a combo, for sure. But the reason it's the best is because even if you strike cover change, they're going to hit you, and then you're getting support for your allies already on the support he's getting from his other unique. So he's getting 50% support, basically, if he gets hit while cover changing. That's why it's better, because yes, it does end the combo, but the support it offers is really the ticket why you'd use Future Gohan, right? You care about that support more than anything else he can do in the entire limitations of his kit.
All they have left is blast cards, because everything else is locked. Which is so annoying.
Oh yeah, because his
handful of strikes,
you do a blue card, then green,
green and a blue card, and he pops his main. Green and blue card locked. He pops a blue card. Your strikes are locked too. You can't do anything except for dance around.
He's got the seal on main as well. What is it? Blue and green cards. You see?
Yeah, exactly. And then also when when an ally is dead, he goes type neutral for 15 counts twice. So that's actually clutched me a couple
I actually
of
think
matches
that's invaluable.
Vegeta,
I mean, it works, but
know,
like you don't really care about it that much.
And then I can already do damage against the Vegeta. So this is really clutch sometimes. And yeah, that's also why I like him a lot. But I agree that he is squishy, and you also need good equips to actually make him do damage. He needs to build up a little bit as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so they didn't touch on his support, which is mind-blowing, because that is the literal reason you run with Sword of Hope. He is Sword of Hope's best friend, because the support he offers Sword of Hope in every single unit in the game. The reason Future Gohan, I personally would say, is, if not number 3, number 4, that support is so undeniably fucking broken. I'm, again, shocked they didn't mention it. Future Gohan, 25% when he enters, and then 25% per combo taken. People tap attack, people tap blast. I've had it happen. I had it happen in the EX Jiren video because he's the same kind of situation, just he's limited in support. People tap attack, they tap blast you. That's ramping up support for yourself. He's supporting himself when that happens, and his allies. You pair that with Goku Vegeta, Super Gogeta, anybody that's at least half decent at doing damage, you are going to nuke. That is his main thing. He's mentioning damage of Future Gohan. I don't care about his damage. The only reason people shit on Future Gohan on release is because they saw a strike-based unit, and then they saw his strike damage not be that insane. It was okay sometimes because, you know, a lot of people tap attack, then people probably didn't read his uniques. Then they learned, okay, don't tap attack this guy because he's going to fuck my day up, or at least support to where he will allow his allies to fuck your day up, right? That was why people were underwhelmed by him on release. But since release, his value has been insane. He has not been replaced. even a low star Future Gohan. I even said it myself when I first got him, and for months beyond that. Now, you know, realizing I should probably star him up, but I even still agree with it to an extent. You could rock a low star Future Gohan and be fine because all you care about is his disruption and his support. He ends the combo most times, and then he's giving you support to make your other units nuke. So why would you need a high star? Future Gohan, high stars is very versatile. You're not building him for offense, you're building him for defense because Future Gohan's meant to disrupt. He is a glorified support unit. He has, you know, some damage inflicted buffs. That's great. But you are using Future Gohan to disrupt. You are using him to support. You are not using him to do any damage. He is your support unit. That is what he is, and that's all he can be. You build him defensively with ultimate damage stuff, you know, optimally, if not just defensively with a lot of HP, so he can sustain, and again, support. Cover in, support, get the fuck out, swap out mid-combo, let my other units nuke, because he is supporting them with 50% after he takes just one hit. That's very good, and it keeps ramping up 25% per combo he takes. That is the main reason he is probably perfect for what he is. Again, yes, he is squishy, but if you build him in a nice way, and you have decent stars, which he's been out for almost a year right now, like in a few weeks he'll be out for a year, you're not really dealing with the squishy issue unless you're up against Goku Vegeta, and that spot is not niche, but I would say it's more uncommon because, again, this is all of 2021.
So, number 4, I have Revival Gohan. What about you?
Yep, that's why I was right here as well.
I figured. Like, for me, it's a notch above Future Han because like, Revival...
I'm just going to say real quick, I think in all of 2021, who has better aging? Future Gohan or Revival Gohan? I want to say Future Gohan helped Revival Gohan. So I think Future Gohan is better aging, but I think they're 1A, 1B at that point. So number 4, I would say, is actually warranted. I don't think it's the worst decision, but I personally would put Future Gohan above Revival Gohan.
Peacock, but it cannot be killed. You know, it's like you can't be one-carded by a Vegeta or something and not come back. You can come back with less HP.
And to mention, since Revival Gohan's release, there have been so many anti-Revival units that really fuck over his team. Maybe not him, but Evolution Blue. He goes neutral for 30 counts after he kills Revival Gohan, basically. Goku Vegeta, still 2 balls and gain 2 balls. Sort of, no, they remove 2 balls and gain 2 balls, right? Sort of Trunks reduces HP recovery by 30% on the revival of the unit, right? So there's a lot of anti-revivals that are right now meta. So I do think the value of Future Gohan is higher because of that. Yes, they also nullify endurance, but I'm not getting my whole team screwed over with my Future Gohan getting his endurance nullified. I'm at least getting some support. Revival Gohan, I mean, they're going to farm a second rush. They're going to be neutral for 30 counts. They're going to have all these attributes where I don't have them, and now I'm fucked over because, well, my Revival Gohan said, I'ma die now.
If Trunks taps you to death, or you can come back with like less Dragon Balls or no cards if it's Cell or something.
Well, they mention it.
You come back. And then you get crazy damage.
Then they get a second rush.
You have...
Or you don't even get one rush if it's Cell doing it, who did it for like a week.
Count, which is awesome. You have a team heal, which is super helpful.
Oh! Cell's not going to be on this list. So it's Cell, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Who else? Who else isn't on this list? Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because he's not going to be top fucking 3. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Cell. Who else? Vegeta made it. Rose made it. There's 13, right? Gogeta 4 has to be on this list. Right? Hope so. We'll find out, though.
And, yeah, the one thing I hate about him, or the biggest thing I hate about him, is that his transforming animation takes, like, an entire episode.
Yeah. And you're going to see it about 500 million billion times in the future still, right?
Mono purple much?
One thing I've found with this Gohan in this meta is that, like, every team you're running against, like, either Goku and Vegeta or Ultra Gogeta, it feels like, right? And it's like...
I'm looking for the other LF they released. I'm just forgetting real quick, just on the side here.
Kill anything in their way. But it's like, hey, they'll take Gohan's first life, and then at least you're free from that combo, and you still have, like, you know, your character alive, so...
Yep. You can try.
Ultra Gogeta comes in off that Bardock switch, and anything is dead. Nothing can stop him, so...
Especially if you use the green card.
Yep.
That's a big yikes.
And I have found that, too, like, when Gohan transforms, his damage is still, I think, impressive after
Yeah.
he transformed
Yep.
to Super Saiyan 2.
And then he also has the AoE green card, which we talked about before. And if
The
he...
one thing about
Yeah?
his, though, compared to, like, 8 Vegeta and Maju, is that he doesn't get the special, like, cover change notification like they do, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and also
Like,
if he uses a main ability and destroys like 4 cards, you're screwed.
Yeah. But I've won off of Gohan, like, greening me.
Oh, I
and
guess, okay.
Striking and covered.
Okay, so never mind. It is just 12. I don't know why I thought it was 13. Okay, so it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Cell didn't make the list. Just to touch on that real quick. I don't know what they were just saying. I was just again trying to find this. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think he could be 10th or 9th. I know his plot came out very late, but they are touching on a very late topic of when the game is being talked about here. More talking about December. I do think his value shot up a little bit to where he could be 10th or 9th above at least Rose. I don't think either were core, but I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku was better, at least right now, than Rose is right now, at least in that circumstance. And then LF Cell, he only had relevance really for a short time, and he fell off very quickly, so I think him not being here actually does make sense. Just touch on that.
You know, Trunks Blue.
Yeah, that's basically always the situation where I'm like, okay, now you have to pull your pants down and show me if you have a strike or a blast card. Like after that green card, he can. I don't think you can actually forward dash and use a card without a dropping combo. So yeah, number 3. What's your number 3?
I actually have Trunks at number 3.
Okay.
Trunks number 3, okay.
Interesting. I don't. So you go first.
So, Gogeta 4 and
Trunks is really nasty.
Goku Jr. number 1.
You know, he does so much. One thing about Trunks that
I actually agree with this. I would say Trunks is below Gogeta 4. Just to say that real quickly. So I do agree with this number 3 placement. I won't say Future Gohan is higher. I think there's a circumstance he can be, depending your stars. But if you're rating like equal stars, I guess Trunks is definitely higher than Future Gohan.
has actually won me.
I think they're 1A, 1B at that point.
Matches, is that when his gauge fills up, he kills 60p on the enemy, right? The amount of times where they've been comboing, my gauge fills up and they just stop right in place, and I'll just like strike right away or something like that and catch them and then like win the match off of that. It has been too many times.
That's very good.
Right?
It is.
Like, it's like,
A lot of units can kind
a lot
of beat that
times
out,
if
and decent
people
players
are
can
always
counter it
aware
out
of
without,
exactly what that
you know,
gauge is and everything
a lot of
like
times that does work, yeah.
And like that filling up mid combo, he's got endurance, he gets the heal, and then Trunks with the
Well,
gauge filled up, his damage is nuts.
I don't think endurance is negative by any means, but saying a attribute right now as endurance is a little bit misleading, I would say, because at least he's wording it like it's an attribute. I would say endurance is good, like it's a very good thing to have, but right now every single meta relevant unit is nullifying endurance on something. More Super Gogeta, more Super Vegito, and again, we're talking about Trunks, who came out in this era of these units. They're all nullifying endurance on something, if not for a long time, for a short time, and you can just kind of like bait it out to where you're going to nullify endurance. So right now, I don't think endurance is the greatest thing to have, but I do think it has value in some circumstances. It's just that right now, the value of it isn't that high, so it's null at this point, I would say, endurance. It's not great, it's not bad, but it's null.
Right? Gets card draw, his ult starts to hit like a missile. And Trunks is really good.
Yeah. After Gauge
that's
his
also a
ult,
part of
because
my
he has
list,
100%
that the
penetrate
Gauge
cut, I
actually
think,
saved me a
which
bunch
is
of
very
times.
nice.
But my number 3 is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Okay.
At release, but now he's become a...
See, that's exactly why I don't agree with that. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta should probably be lower in Sword of Hope, just because the, on release, right, he just mentioned it. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta had no relevancy. Trunks on release has been relevant, has been a staple, whatever you want to call him, since release. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta had no relevancy for months, so genuinely, you could probably put him lower than like Evolution Blue because of how irrelevant he was for so long and how relevant Evolution Blue was for so long. I could honestly see Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta being number 5 / number 6, where Evolution Blue is kind of like 5A, 5B, 6A, 6B, to where they're right next to each other, because Gogeta 4, again, had zero relevancy. People like to forget that. He had zero relevancy for months on months on months on months on months. People love to remember Super Saiyan 4 Goku having no relevancy, but Gogeta 4, people like to play off that he was, you know, always relevant. No, he was not relevant for months beyond belief. I would say Evolution Blue was a lot more consistently relevant. Zamasu more consistently relevant. Right now, Gogeta 4 is better for the relevancy of the meta, but when he came out and months past it, he was not relevant. You did not run into Gogeta 4 because he was not good.
Monster with his like Zenkai Flat Equip, where you know he basically
There's gonna gas him, so I understand why he's good now. It's just that
because like you know defense.
Not referring to the entire point of it, right?
After release.
Yes. Okay, so he thinks Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta number 2. Again, I would say Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta right now could be in that circumstance to where he's top 3. I agree with that, but in totality of his entire 2021, he was laughing stock for months on months. He should probably not even be top 5, if not barely touching top 5 at that point. Honestly, again, I would say Evolution Blue had a lot more consistent basis of the meta. Contention Zamasu had a lot more consistent basis. If you're only thinking the end of 2021, then yes, Gogeta 4 top 3. But in an essence of all of 2021, Gogeta 4 was irrelevant for months beyond months. Please remember that. He should not be in the top 2 because of how irrelevant he was for so long. Yeah, he does all these great things, but again, pre-plat, he was still shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trunks can farm up a rush like crazy with the green.
Yeah.
Right? Like just boom, draw 4 cards. Like
yeah. I mean, it's RNG, but yeah. Trunks number 2, I think it's debatable to be in the top 3 regardless, so I wouldn't have an issue with it. I would say Gogeta 4 is just highly overrated in totality, again, of 2021 as a whole, not just the end of 2021.
You get matches where these Trunkses are rushing at like 165 and shit like that. It's because of that green it is.
Feels bad, man. But yeah, pretty much that. And for me, Trunks is just a little bit better. Like his powerful ultimate when he's last man standing is type neutral. But also Gogeta goes type neutral on main for 20 counts and gets card draw speed. So I feel like that's a very close call. And it's also a bit of a matter of like personal preference and playstyle. So I'm guessing number 1 is pretty obvious. Drum roll.
Gogeta.
Truth. You
Yes.
wanna do the honors?
Correct! I agree with this, obviously.
Why does this unit get 70% vanish on...
Yeah, so Goku Vegeta, I'm not, they're only going to gas him, so there's no point. Goku Vegeta, obviously, I agree, is number 1 in the game. Since release, they've been number 1. There's no reason why they wouldn't be number 1 on this list, because again, from the beginning of their release of 2021 to the end of their release on 2021, they were number 1. Why would they not be, well, number 1 LF, right? Because Ultra Gogeta obviously took the spot, but it's an LF list. Let me know what you guys think of this. It's just my opinion on it. I would like to think I went in a manner of respect while going over this. I don't think I went in a rude path. If you guys disagree, let me know. But yeah, I would say the key points to hit on is that they are kind of neglecting the entirety of 2021. Like, Pop mentioned it a little bit, I believe, where Revival Gohan exists and all that. But yes, you remembered July. How about all of the months, 6 months prior to that, right? That's my main issue with it, because this is a unit of 2021. If this were the end of 2021, it would say the end after 2021 ends, or by the end of 2021, it would say that. But this is about all of the year, and I respect some units not being on here, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku was so relevant for so long, LF Cell was only relevant for so long, him not being on here, them not being on here, makes sense in that respect, right? But then you also have to respect the units that didn't have relevancy, like Gogeta 4 didn't have relevancy for months on months. The only reason Super Saiyan 3 Goku was better is because Gogeta 4 didn't have his plat out. And that's the only reason people would use Super Saiyan 3 Goku over him. That means Gogeta 4 wasn't relevant for months, so his value should not be top 3, because again, he was not relevant for, I don't even know, 4 months? 5 months? Whatever it was, he was not there. You did not run into him. There is an issue there. Evolution Blue, very consistent throughout the entire meta of the entire year. Contention Zamasu started falling off at the end, where we are right now, but that's only 1 month out of a, 7-month span of when he released. You gotta factor that in, I would say. To rate them a little bit low beyond belief is interesting to me. I personally don't agree with it. Obviously, you guys are hearing my takes here, but what do you guys think of this? I do think this was interesting, definitely different and unique, and if you guys disagree, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.